Hello, this is kind of new, but I really appreciate being able to do everything in one space. So I'm glad that Substack has all these features right now. This is my first video here, very raw. I don't plan to script because I want the message to be really personal. So today, being Monday, is typically my writing day. And earlier, when I was at the pool doing my exercise, I was just thinking about this whole notion of the third. Nowadays, when I try to introduce myself as a pastor, it gets quite complicated because the usual follow-up question is, where is your church, right? And because I am working in the city, I have found that maybe using the third space is kind of helpful. That's not a new term, but the third space refers to the space that's outside the church and outside the marketplace, kind of the hybrid space, where you create new areas and new zones, so to speak, for interaction, for discovery and so forth. So yeah, kind of like a third space. And then it struck me this morning that I'm entering my third age. So it's like a 3-3 thing, nice number where God is concerned. And so I am in the third space in my third age, which means it's a whole new world, quite a brave season ahead of me. And for some of you who may know, who are closer to me, and especially those who live in Singapore, the last and this year, I was also navigating some challenges with my heart health. Apparently, I was born with certain structural pieces kind of not quite together. So we were exploring like a really major open heart surgery that kind of got shelved. Um, which, as I'm trundling towards my final third, gives me pause to think about my own journey leading up to this point, which to some extent I capture in my latest book, Hosted by God to Really Live, but also looking forward to the final third of my life and this third space that I find myself in as I've journeyed with God. I'll be very honest that many times along the journey, I have doubts, I have questions. I wonder if I've said yes too soon, if I said no too soon, that sort of things. You could never really make perfect decisions. And so I've been asking God basically, for just that assurance that as far as I and Him are concerned, we are good. And I have been faithful and I've been obedient, I've been trusting. I think that is what matters the most at the heart of it, that we can be responsible for. And then how the journey unfolds just involves so many other people, so many other factors. But if at the core of it, we can say we have said yes to God every step of the way, then even when it gets hard, even when it hits a wilderness patch, even when the results are not forthcoming, and we are getting older, our bodies are showing signs of age and wear and tear, we can still live with a sense of satisfaction, live with a sense of assurance and peace. And that's how I want to live. I hope that's how you want to live too. So come explore the third space and the third age together with me, especially if you are at a point in your life and you don't have to be really old at all. But in journey with people, I've realized that we have such a powerful script in society. There are very few of us dare to deviate from a script that says get good grades, get good job, marry the best possible person, have a beautiful family, and go to church, or kind of like the middle class script in a way. But as I've journeyed with many people, I realized that if they pause and took a look at that script, they realize maybe that's not the script they wanted all along. And then it takes a tremendous amount of courage, a tremendous amount of truth finding to get to the place to say, maybe God has a different script for me. And you know what, friends? It's never too late. Somehow, God, in His wisdom, can weave His script even in the larger narrative of society, even in the broken scripts that have been handed to you. But as long as you are willing to pause and say, you know, I really want God's script for my life. I want God's version. I want God's story for my life. I want God's perspective, God's agenda. Today, any day, is a good day to start that discovery. So here's to third, and to for you, maybe second, third, second, I don't know. But let's get at it. Thanks for listening. See you around.